YouTube, it's your boy, Sean Matrai, here with the Gimmick Puppet Tutorial. Now, I know what you're thinking. This deck came out, was never relevant, Quattro was never good, and it's not been talked about, so why is it good now? Well, I'm going to show you some replays. We clap salad. Let me go with the deck profile first. And then I will kick on some nice replays with some music. So we have, to start up, we run 3 copies of Terror Baby. So what Terror Baby does is, it's essentially like a monster reborn. When you summon it, you get to summon a Gimmick Puppet in the graveyard. It also has an engrave effect. If you banish it, your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to your Gimmick Puppet effects this turn. So, if you activate this, they can't respond with Roar, and they also cannot respond with, Roar on any of their, Roar on any response to any of your effects. Also, if they try to change Circle to the activation of something like Giant Grinder, we're going to go over why Giant Grinder is really huge, then you are able to really abuse that Giant Grinder in that fashion. We'll talk about why it's really good. I'm actually probably, as we speak, going to take out one link and add in another Giant Grinder as I talk about this to you, why this deck's good. So yeah, really good. And if they had like Photon Lord and you banish this in the grave, then they can't negate, which is huge, obviously, in response to any of your Gimmick Puppet effects. But the problem with that is that, well, you could steal Photon Lord, yeah, so you can steal Photon Lord with this and then attack, so that's a way you can potentially get around it. Okay, so next we have 3 copies of Bistal, and Bistal is very powerful. It has a couple of effects. First effect is you can special summon from your hand by discarding a Gimmick Puppet. The main effect that's really good is you banish this card from your graveyard, and all of your Gimmick Puppet monsters become untargetable for the rest of the turn. So that's a really good way to abuse and potentially stop your opponent from affecting you with cards like Crackdown, Compulse. All those cards target. Econ, Book, all those cards target, and that is a huge stoppage. So if Salamangreat opens a ton of back row and you're able to banish this, the only real thing they're going to be able to affect you with this Roar, but you may even be able to get around that with cards like Terror Baby. So there's a few things you can do. You could also bait out negates really well in this deck. So on top of that, we have Gimmick Puppet Dreary Doll. So if you don't know what Dreary Doll is your main card that you want in the graveyard. Now, some people may say you'll need to play one. I think you should play multiple because it's good to open in some cases. So Dreary Doll, you banish one Gimmick Puppet monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. So if this card's in your graveyard, you banish a Gimmick Puppet, you can summon it. So it comes back for free level 8, but it can only be used in its seed summon for a Gimmick Puppet monster. So you use this to make Giant Grinder or to make your Gimmick Puppet strings. We don't run Leo. Leo is pointless. On top of that, we're running 3 copies of Magnet Doll. If your opponent controls the monster, and all your monsters you control are Gimmick Puppets, you can special summon this for free. That's pretty much what you need to know there. We also run 2 MSTs, 3 Warning Point, 3 Compulse, and 3 Needle. Now, some people may ask, why Needle? Well, you can cut this down to 2 if you want to, but it has synergy with Sanafot, which we'll go into in a second. Why this card can be very good to make on turn 1. You could also run Zombie Stein if you want, but I do like Sanafot a lot. Now, on top of that, we're running 2 copies of MST, like the 3 Warning Points, 3 Compulsive, 3 Needle. Okay, now we're going to go over the extra deck monsters. Gimmick Puppet of Strings is really good because this card is just a 3000 beater that's really easy to summon. That's the bottom line. And you're going to abuse it with Gimmick Puppet Gigantus Doll, but we'll get over that in a second. But Basically, its effect is almost non-relevant. You detach a material to put a string counter every monster on the field except this card. And during the next end phase, the opponent of the player, the next end phase of the opponent of the player place counters on this. Destroy monsters with string counters, and if you do, inflict 250 damage for each monster destroyed. This effect never really comes up. The main thing is that this becomes a 3000 beat stick, and it does really well at that. Especially when you take your opponent's monsters, it feels really good making this. Giant Grinder is really good because this is a pop that gets around Balanx. So if you're going second, you could get to pop 2, which gets around Balanx to deal with a Sunlight Wolf. So that's really good to remove a Sunlight Wolf off the field. So up to twice per turn during your main phase 1, you detach a material, target one face-up special summon monster on the field, destroy it. If it was an exceed, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its attack. Main thing you're doing with this is you're using this to blow up their special summon monsters. Great against Sunlight Wolf if you're going second. On top of that, we're running one copy of Gigantostyle. Gigantostyle takes 2 level 4 Gimmick Puppets, and this card is absolutely ridiculous. You can take up to 2 of your opponent monsters, gain control of them until the end phase. You're locked into Gimmick Puppets after that, but also you can only attack with Exceed monsters. Second effect is that you should discard, make all monsters you currently control become 8, so it's really good to go in your grinder or into your strings. If they have any level 4s like a Jaguar on the field, you can just steal it. So that's really good, obviously. And if they have a bunch of monsters on the field, you can steal them too. This does target, so the one thing you need to know about this is something like Mech Knight Purple can dodge this. Even if you chain the target, they just dodge it out. Another thing is, like, if they have secrets on the field, you won't be able to resolve this. Because with secrets, they can negate this even if you tribute it, because it's still activated in that specific column. So that's something you want to keep in mind. I'm probably going to throw another MST in here as I start to continue to talk. So on top of this, we have a few other Exceed monsters. Malevolent Sin, you know what that does. Sanified, it takes 2 level 8s, but it can go in this deck because you have a number. Gains 100 attack and defense for each monster in the grave. Once per turn, detach a material to the end of the opponent's turn. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects, and neither player gets special summon from the grave. This is obviously really good against Salad and Photon, because if you summon this against Salad, they cannot summon Jaguar, Foxy, or Falco. So that really restricts their play lines. It's also really good against Photon because they can't summon Galaxy Eyes from the grave. That's pretty blatantly obvious in my opinion. So it's almost like a mini Necro Valley that you could summon really easily. So really good. We also play, it also can't be destroyed by card effects, so it synergizes with Needle Sealing, which is why we play that. Chimera Doll is crazy. This takes 2 machines, it's a link 2. During your main phase, if you control this link summon card, you cannot special summon cards from the extra deck, you activate this effect. Take 1 Gimmick Puppet monster and add it to your hand from your deck. And then, or send it to the graveyard. Then all monsters you control a Gimmick Puppet, you can special summon the Gimmick Puppet for your hand. So this thing's basically a Rhoda when you link summon it. And it also special summons from the hand. Or Foolish Burial, whatever you want or you feel you need it to be. So that's really good as a link too, and it's quite easy to summon. So, this effect is hard once per turn. So you literally summon this with any 2 Gimmick Puppets. You can summon off Destroy, getting 2 out. You can summon off Terror Baby, reviving. Now you're probably saying, how do I get them in the grave? Well, let's talk about the skill. Relinquish Puppet. So Relinquish Puppet has the effect that it sends 1 level 8 Gimmick Puppet in your hand or deck to the grave. So very similar to XC Galaxy and how Galaxy's skill works. But then it plays a Destroy from outside the deck. So if you don't know what Destroy does, is you destroy this card in the field to special summon 2 Gimmick Puppets from the hand, which immediately helps you exceed. And the Foolish Burial obviously helps you get them in the graveyard. And the skill can only be used with a deck or extra deck that contains at least one monster and no monsters other than Gimmick puppets or dark number monsters. Okay, and the skill can only be used once per turn. Santified, like I said, is a dark number. Malevolent Sin is a dark number, so those all fit. The rest are Gimmick puppets, so we are good. Alright, let's get into some hot replays. I'm going to show off a few replays. And if you have any questions, ask in the comments below. We will play this on stream. But like I said, any questions, please respond in the comments below. And if you like this video, follow me on Twitch, like, subscribe, comment. We'd be greatly appreciated. We're almost to 600 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1K and beyond. So, thank you all for that. And now, enjoy the content. Whoop. Oh, I didn't get to the replays.
Life is about
Alright, so those are 3 replays that you saw right off the bat. Yeah, we clapped. There was a duel that you saw. That was a good sound. We did lose one of the duels, not in the replays, but like on the ladder. And that's because I misplayed and I forgot to compulse in the draw phase. Other than that, we could have won that duel that you saw with the Jaden when I lost. That we could have won. But yeah, overall, this deck's clapping. We're definitely going to play it on the stream. I want to try out this deck a lot more. Maybe we'll do a tournament run with it. So yeah. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on Twitch if you like this video. Link will be in the description below. I am streaming Stage 2. So if you do not want to miss me stream Stage 2, make sure you are followed. Please, I highly encourage it. You want to watch me play Stage 2 live, follow me. But yeah, we're going to keep it there. And until next time, this is your boy, Sean Matrai, signing out. Peace.